What's up? This is Ben from WODprep here with WODprep mobility coach Gary Dubs, and today we are going to help you with your push jerk. So if you're someone who has a tendency to keep your elbows bent when you're trying to lock out weight overhead, this could be with a push jerk or a push press, a snatch probably. There's so many movements that we do where lockout is required. If you have trouble locking those elbows out, then this video is for you. But really quick, if you are looking to increase your shoulder performance and shoulder mobility, we have a free training guide for you. Go to wodprep.com/shoulders and you can download it for free. So, Gary, how can I fix those bent elbows? What's the first drill we need to do?
So the first thing we're going to do is our kneeling upside down kettlebell press. And this one is going to really challenge the reactive piece of our push jerks, split jerks, anything that we have to do, which is super reactive, right? We get underneath that bar, we have to react to it. So for this piece, you're going to take a kettlebell, turn it upside down, you're gonna get into the kneeling position, and we're just going to work on very solid shoulder mechanics. So naturally, the kettlebell's upside down, so it's gonna be very hard to balance. When you go to press up overhead and lock that elbow out, right, it's going to be very demanding on that trunk because we're in the kneeling position. It's not gonna allow you to sway forward and back and cheat that overhead positioning. So we have to not only balance it, but then we're going to work on good shoulder mechanics. So what that's going to do is teach those shoulders how to react and get into a good position up overhead because you have now just practiced with the kettlebell over and over, reacting to that balancing stimuli.
So when he says reactive, in everything that we do, especially with the barbell, when we move the weight, a lot of times you'll see people who can get the weight overhead and they'll get their arms fully extended, but then as soon as they react to the weight, their arms will bend, right? And that's not what we want. It's not efficient at all. And as the weight gets heavier, that's normally what causes failure. We want you to be able to lock out that weight immediately. So training with something that is really wobbly, it's hard to balance, trains that reactive stability. So we're training your shoulders on controlling unstable or unstable weight, correct?
Correct.
All right, so how many reps are we doing?
We're going to do 2 sets of 8. This can be a quick warm-up, cool down. It's something you can do a couple times a week just to work on those really good shoulder mechanics, increase the stability. So anytime you're going to any reactive movements, your shoulders have better mechanics.
So 2 sets of 8 on each side. Hey, have you heard that all the cool kids subscribe to WODprep? You should too.
All right, next movement, we are doing banded angels. So for this, you are going to take a med band, you're going to attach it to something, and we're going to perform essentially a snow angel with the med band. And why we like this is because a lot of us, when we're getting into catching that push jerk or anything overhead for the first time, it's very difficult for the body to let it go behind our ears, right, behind our center line. We're very inclined to press forward. So this is going to teach you to kind of engage those posterior muscles in this little bit further behind the ear position. So you're going to go up, banded angels, in line with the ear, create the big 360. You can even pull the band down if you have enough room and the band is a good resistance. Come up overhead and again, pull back. So we're just going to kind of work on engaging a little bit more of that posterior, which is going to help you to naturally feel like it's okay to let that push jerk or split jerk kind of land in that position that's a little bit behind the center of our head.
So you'll see with people when they have good position, it always kind of looks like the bar is slightly behind them. That's because that balance point generally is back behind me. It's not out here in front. So if you struggle with getting that bar behind you, this drill can really help activate the right muscles to show your body it's okay to support weight that you can't see.
And for this one, you're going to do 2 sets of 10. You can superset it with your upside down kneeling kettlebell press.
All right, Gary, so what's next?
So now we're going to take those good shoulder mechanics and we're going to apply it to the barbell, and we're going to start off with some more strict movement, right? We want to get good with that barbell up overhead. We're going to start off with some strict. So we're going to do 2 strict press in a close grip behind the neck with 2 overhead squats. And what you're going to do is you can do this for an EMOM. You can do a 10-minute EMOM, and just every minute or every 30 seconds, do 2 behind the neck strict press, go into 2 overhead squats. And what you can do if we really want to isolate the shoulders and really make the mobility happen in the shoulder area and the thoracic spine, we are going to elevate our heels on some 2 10-pound plates to cut out the ankle mobility. So when you get into that overhead squat, you're really isolating and putting the pressure on that scapulo-thoracic joint.
Okay, so the upper back will be your limiting factor here, not your ankles.
Exactly.
I know for me, if I try to do a narrow grip overhead squat like we're demonstrating in this video, the ankle would be my limiting factor. So you put those plates underneath your heels, it makes it a lot easier to squat, and then you're gonna feel, Gary, turn for me, you're gonna feel it all right here. Your upper back will be activating to get that weight overhead. Now, where should they play around with the grip? Are we trying to keep it really wide, or can we actually move it narrower and narrower?
Yep, so every time you can challenge how narrow it is, but what we have to remember is we want to create good shoulder mechanics. So let's always prioritize a nice elbow lockout through the whole range of motion. Again, right, we're trying to get rid of these soft elbows. So what you don't want to do is go to a point where you're having to almost press it like this in that overhead squat. So only bring it into the point where you can strict press and do your overhead squat with good shoulder mechanics and nice locked out elbows. And you're going to, again, like we said, you could do 2 of each every 30 seconds for about 5 minutes, or you could do 2 of each every minute on the minute for about 10 minutes. So we're looking at about 10 sets.
Fantastic. This is a great complex. I know as soon as I put the bar behind my body and do those strict presses, I mean, you can just feel your shoulders opening up and the mechanics will be improving. So I hope that you like these 3 drills that we gave you to improve your overhead positioning, especially if you have those soft elbows, the dreaded soft elbows when learning push jerks. We don't want those. So hope these videos helped. If you would like our free shoulder mobility guide, just go to wodprep.com/shoulders and you can download that for free. So thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't.
Ben's ugly.
Thumbs down if you think I'm ugly. Make sure you hit subscribe. And the question of the day, Gary, what is it?
Today you are going to choose if you would rather be able to snatch 300 pounds or run a sub 5-minute mile. I personally would choose snatch 300 pounds.
I think everybody watching this video would choose snatch 300 pounds. But leave a comment below. Let me know.
For you runners out there, we're throwing you a bone.
Would you rather have a sub 5-minute mile or a 300-pound snatch? It's a tough choice. See you next week.